Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and to all the new viewers and listeners around the world, a big warm welcome to you too. To those of you watching this on YouTube, don't forget that the audio version is available on all streaming platforms or wherever you get your podcasts, including Apple, Spotify and Amazon Music, just to mention a few. If you are listening back to this via a podcasting app, please don't forget to head over to my YouTube channel to get a video version of this podcast and for my other types of content. Also, if you would like to be on the podcast, please email me at elusive.media@hotmail.com or visit iemedia.net and drop me a message that way. Media.
Cips Clips.
On today's episode, I'm joined by Kip, who's travelled all the way down from sunny Glasgow. We have met several times, which we will get into later on in the show, and we've been friends and part of the same sort of YouTube culture and stuff for quite a while, bouncing back and forth. Kip's got a channel of his own. Kip's actually a lord, so we do actually have a real lord with his sword in the house tonight. And it's just been a pleasure to have you on, man, and to get you down this neck of the woods. And we've met in London, and I've been up to Glasgow and spent time with you guys back in the day. And
back in Nam.
Treated me very, very well. So welcome to the show, Kip.
Well, thanks for having me, mate. Even just to have a wee bit of a banter and chat and a catch up and stuff in person. But it's even cooler to be on the old podcast and this sort of a setup, man. It's well impressive. And kudos to yourself with the studio and what you're producing and stuff, mate. It's really good production value, and keep going, man, and I'm sure you'll crack it.
Thank you very much, man. It's appreciated. But I believe you're possibly going to be changing your YouTube name. For anyone that's maybe watching this and they're searching for Cips Clips, it might actually be...
actually being a real lord, as you know, and with my sword, my claymore sword, I'm thinking of changing my YouTube name to Lord Cips of the Clips, which I think is more apt now that I'm actually a real lord. Now, I'm starting small and I'm going to expand, so I've only got like 1 yard of land right now.
Yeah.
But I'm a genuine lord, and I can go and visit my land.
With your sword?
Well, no, don't say that, man. I'll get arrested in the way. But no, I can pop down, and obviously there's accommodation, and you can go and visit. I can go and visit and be a lord on my land. So it's pretty cool, and it was the person that done it. Kudos, man. It was right up my street, that kind. And if anybody doesn't know, I do actually own a claymore sword as well, which hangs on my wall underneath my certificate proving my lordship. Lord Craig MacDonald Houston.
Yeah. I think it's got a ring to it as well, Lord Kip of the Clips.
I think so as well. Yep.
It is cool. And me and Kip are also possibly working on a new show that we're going to collaborate on, aren't we, in the future? It's going to be good.
We've been bouncing around a few ideas, and I think we've got a good starting block to go off of, so stay tuned in the next couple of weeks, months or whatnot, and
definitely
hopefully we can do a wee collab, mate. It would be good.
Yeah. So I think we should go back a little bit and get a bit of understanding of Lord Kip of the Clips and what's led you up to today, and maybe get into like your YouTube journey and then how we met at those points and stuff. Maybe a bit of
how this gremlin first.
Yeah. So, like, where did you grow up originally?
Well, born and bred in Glasgow, managed to escape the East End when I was about 2 or 3 year old, moved up to Scumbernauld, as I call it, Cumbernauld. What's it called? Give me a penny. And then managed to escape there when I was like 21. Yeah. And then, funnily enough, like a small town, you couldn't go to a nightclub without somebody wanting to batter you because you kissed his girlfriend in primary 2, kind of one of those ones. Escaped into the city centre while working in call centres doing predominantly telesales, which weirdly enough I was really good at, but
it probably translates to your videos as well, doesn't it?
Well, see having sales training allows you to see through a lot more of the gobbledygook bullshit. Up to, maybe, forecast, could be, possibly. Because these are all the words and phrases that you're taught to use as a salesman to fucking bamboozle people with bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's the reality. So, escaped from Cumbernauld in this kind of a small town and moved to the big smoke. And funnily enough, I moved to Carl Sturgeon, the SNP leader's constituency through in Govan Hill, which when I was there was a bit of a dump. Right, it was Little Asia. I moved for a 95% white town, boom, into Little Asia where it was like Spot the White Dude. And I didn't mind it, to be honest. It was quite nice. It was dead quiet and stuff. You didn't have lots of scumbags and whatnot floating about, so you didn't have fights and whatnot.
Different dynamic.
Aye.
Yeah. But
did witness reverse racism, if that's possible, a few times, you know, walking into a shop as the white dude. And all the Asian cunts, the music stop.
Right.
Turn around and look at you and stuff. And I remember one time me and my sister going in, and granted we were a bit pie-eyed, and we were looking for some munchies and whatnot, as you do. And they were all just sitting howling at us and whatnot and talking and stuff I can't understand. And it clearly wasn't positive. But loved my wee stint in Govan Hill. And then since there I've bounced out a few wee places in Glasgow. A few homeless units.
Yeah.
Aye, man, I've been through a few homeless units.
So you've been through, like, rough times like that as well?
Aye, man, well, without going into too much details,
yeah, of course.
The shit cards that life sometimes deal folk, sometimes people don't deal too well with it, in my head went,
yeah.
And then ended up in a homeless unit, out one, then back in one, and then finally ended up in the arsehole of the West End of Glasgow,
right.
Where I am today. And then one of my old work guys, I remember we were just having a smoke and whatnot one day, and then started like talking about how we were into conspiracies and stuff.
Right, no way.
And then
this pre your YouTube journey.
Oh, aye, pre my YouTube, pre starting it.
Yeah.
And through YouTube, falling through the rabbit holes of YouTube, one conspiracy after the other, leading to that one, JFK leading to that, and YouTube just serving it up in the platter, one after the other.
Yeah, it
like
was wild, wasn't it?
Mate, I remember sitting there and I couldn't get enough.
Yeah.
I couldn't get enough. And that led me to actually want to make videos. And I remember, I don't know if it was the first one I made, but it was the first idea I had to make once, and it was tools to wake your family up.
No way.
And what I'd done is I got a Screencast-O-Matic, and you could just grab a screencast with your camera.
I used to use that.
And I remember one of the first videos I done was the JFK thing. So I dug up hundreds of YouTube videos on the JFK and then like narrate, like, just show them this and then just show them this and then you'll wake them up. You know, like it's like just the naivety that you fall into. And then rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole, listen to maybe this talking head, that American radio show that's selling you gold, talking head, that American radio show that's selling you gold, talking head, so on and so forth. And then eventually arrived at Jabba the Hutt himself, Alex Jones.
Wow, okay, cool.
So I can't, I'm trying to remember, I did do like a wee set of tools to help your family wake up, you know, like one conspiracy after the other, me just shoving in links and YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And I think that channel was called Kip 1883.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I think that was the original one I found you on.
Well, do you want to hear the story about the Kip name?
Yeah.
I must have told you before, right? It stands for conceived in prison.
Oh, I never knew that.
Right, I seen it in a real. I'm not actually conceived in prison, by the way. It's not actually correct. I seen some shite American comedy or something, right? And I remember back in the day when I first ever had to sign into YouTube to watch a video or something, and I had to make up a name. And it was literally the night before that I'd watched that that movie with the crap throwaway joke. And I was like, oh, fuck it, Kip. Never thinking it would stick to me to this fucking day.
No
and
way.
I went, Kip, taken, shit. Kip, 1881. 1981, taken. Fuck, Kip, and then I went for 1883. No, in fact, it was 1881, my original. And then I had 1883. And I'm pretty sure that might even be the one I'm on today. I'm not sure.
You changed it to Kip's Clips.
Kip's Clips, aye. Because I can't even remember how that happened. Because I remember how it happened because in the comments people were calling me Kip.
Okay.
That's not my name, that's just my stupid channel's name, but hey, I'll roll with it.
And I must say, it got a little bit confusing in the radio years, didn't it? Because UKIP, which is
me Kip.
For those out there in the world, that's a political party over here in the UK. So when we'd say, oh, I don't know about UKIP, but it just get really confusing for a while.
Aye, it was a rolling joke and stuff, but it did make me look like a bit of a Illuminati UKIP plant.
Yeah.
Also, as well, I was told that Kip's Clips CC equals 33.
Oh, okay. Playing with the numbers there.
Well, see, the thing is, Martin, right? See, when you're sitting there, like a guy in front of his computer that isn't he in the Illuminati, isn't he in the internet and just talking shite in front of a camera, and you get people that are really convinced that you're some sort of a conspiracy or something.
Yeah. I had that myself back in the day.
Well, mate, it's an eye-opener, isn't it? Really to the whole media as well, because there's actual people out there who are so narrow-minded that they believe that because the quirk of fate has served me up Kip's Clips, 33 means I don't even know what it means, deep state or whatever. And I don't know if you've clocked the thing that I've got on my wall now. It's the wee G and the Star of David and stuff. The wee brass thing.
Oh, I've not seen that.
There was a lodge down here actually shutting down, and they were auctioning off a lot of their stuff, and a friend, a really good friend, got it for me.
No way.
Stuck it up on my wall. I love Masonic memorabilia, but I stuck it up on my wall, definitely in camera shot, predominantly to wind folk up.
Yeah.
It's like this Union Jack. I wore it down here thinking, Jubilee. Well, in fact, it was when I took my camo off and I was searching for Charlie Veitch, you know.
It's mad though, because I remember like two things. When I was doing the radio stuff on more the American scene through the interwebs, some of them in them sort of circles, because I was British, speaking British accent, they'd swear down that I was like MI5 and I was some sort of handler or something like that. And not only that, because my channel back in the day, I used to have like a pyramid with, you know, like the pyramid and the eye.
Aye.
Traditionally, it'd have like the eye at the top, wouldn't it?
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm leaving, mate. You're confirmed.
No, but my symbol had like, it was just like a triangle, but with like a big eye looking out the middle. And to me, that meant something like the eye looking out, like, what's going on sort of thing. But people would swear down that I was some sort of Illuminati because I'm using the symbol. And it's like, no, what the heck, rocker, man?
Off their fucking rocker, man. Like, there's no other way of explaining it. But, like, fair play to them because they do believe that shit. And, like, I don't think that they are... I just think they're very... It proves... Me and you have got an insight... knowledge of how susceptible people can be to bullshit.
Yeah.
Stuff
definitely.
That is not real. Like for me, chemtrails, flat earth, Kip's Clips meaning 33, I'm Illuminati. Yeah. My dad being a Mason meaning I'm a Mason is fucking nuts,
Alex
man.
Jones is Bill Hicks. And all that stuff.
Man.
It's all in the ears. Oh, do you remember?
Hold on, I still believe that one, by the way. Martin, one of the first rabbit holes I fell down was the news reporters and their blinking eyes showing that they were lizard people.
Yeah.
Mate, I believed that for a ball hair in my life. I was like, look, what else can it be?
Shape shifting and stuff.
It can't be the lights in their eyes creating some sort of a snake effect. It can't be the digital processing skipping a frame or two or fucking it up. No. David Icke was right all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, I don't know about you, mate. There was periods where I was... And as I said, man, I got into that conspiracy shit after coming out the shithole.
Yeah,
So
you notice though now how our camera quality especially is a lot better. You don't see them videos anymore. Oh, on the old grainy shit you do, because it's so easy to manipulate, wasn't it?
No, that's because the lizards have changed their technology.
Oh.
They've upgraded to Windows 11, mate.
5G.
And they can't do it anymore. So I just remember all the rabbit holes that I fell down and were even susceptible to believe. I keep these videos on my channel to prove to people that I fell down the rabbit hole. I've got chemtrail videos on the channel.
Right, okay. Now, like you say chemtrails, like there'll be people that argue it and stuff. But yeah, kind of debate here. They have been done, haven't they, in the past? Like we've seen governments have come out and said, oh, we've sprayed in this area, we've done experiments and stuff. So we know that it can happen. But I think you mean this obsession where every trail in the sky, people say, look, there's chemtrails today, there's chemtrails. And it's a commercial airliner because you can go on Flight Radar 24, get the app on your phone. It'll tell you what flight that is, where it's going, the flight number. And like, I'm sure if there's these big machines inside commercial airliners, people would notice them. Some people might say, well, it's something they're putting in the fuel and then that's spreading across the skies and stuff. But I don't know. What would you say to all that?
No, Mark, I think you've brought up a brilliant point and nailed it, man. It's like the way I would explain it is to me, now others make up their own mind, right? But to me, what chemtrails prove to me is how people can create let's call it an optical illusion.
Yeah.
Because there was a point in my life where I'm like pointing at them and going, they're real! Right? Yeah. Because I was ignorant to the science and the understanding going around it. Now, I'm not saying I'm fully privy to that, but what I done and what I think I benefited from is I looked at both sides instead of just going like that, boom, Alex Jones got it right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I went, oh, right, Alex
That's where
Jones.
you were different in alternative media because you did take that approach.
That's why I was flung up. Well, that and the swearing.
So, which part during your YouTube journey was it now that we sort of met?
Stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember the exact time period, right? But I had one channel and I was predominantly doing what you could call news aggregation. I was sharing RT clips and press TV clips.
Yeah, I think you were. I'm trying to think now back to. I mean, I'll edit this and put it in properly. But did you do some collaborations with Kev before the actual Bilderberg on the channel?
Definitely. Well, I can't remember the exact time frame, but Kev contacted me, asked us to do some stuff together, left comments on my channel. But I was like, oh, hey man, brilliant! Somebody in Glasgow and stuff.
Yeah.
And then we done some stuff together. I think even some it might even still be up on the channel.
Yeah, I believe so.
And then Kev, I don't know exactly how we know Joe Watson of TFR or whatever it was called back then, and then they ended up doing a radio show. But
yeah, I can't remember. Was it Unbound Radio or something? That's the first one you were on.
But Kev clearly said to me, he's like, do you want to date with me? I can't do it myself.
Yeah.
And like he'd watched my videos like so he knew I was able to fill dead air basically.
You were good though. Your analysis of breaking things down and looking at things with an open mind was really good. And I think the Bilderberg event was coming up, wasn't it? And I seen Kev had posted things and I'd commented, and I mean I didn't know Kev before then, but I'd made some videos and he'd commented on them and sort of subscribed to each other from that. And then I seen that you were all coming down to London to the Bilderberg thing, and I thought, great, it's a really good opportunity to meet you all and a bit of networking and fight the powers that be, you know, in that controlled
and then I was
Fringe festival.
I was at Bilderberg, and then this big jolly the Green Giant arrived. It turned out to be Martin.
Yeah. And we had a blast of a time, and we're all back.
Look at this way, we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think again when that was exactly. Was it 2013?
I was going to say 12, but 13. And I think the last time we seen each other in person was 7 years ago or something.
Yeah, because I actually came up to Glasgow as well. I met with you and Kev.
You only had to take one footstep, to be fair.
Yeah. No, I had a blast of a weekend up there with these guys.
Oh,
as
that
well.
was good, man. Party times. And do you know what was good about it, man?
As well.
We were all still in that sort of a mindset that we believed. Do you know what I mean? It was still like that. Well, it was still like that in my, I was going to say, the indoctrination into the cult. I know people's arsehole twitch when I call it a cult, but I genuinely, because see what it's like, when you go and look what on paper what a cult does, it rips you away from your family. And I don't know, and I'm not asking you to answer this, Martin, but I know for myself, like, it didn't rip me away from my family, but when I was with my family, it was like, you just don't get it. The Federal Reserve isn't private. Do you know, and it created that divide. And I remember a lot of people echoing it as well, like sort of, oh, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. And then sort of, it's even harder to go and spend time with your family. Another thing Alex Jones ripped, and this was Alex Jones, ripped me away from, was football. I've always loved football from as a wee guy. Now the pros, the cons, the ins and the outs, I've always loved it. And I've reignited that love to get around the Jabber Hut dude. But I do remember when I was falling down the rabbit hole, Alex Jones, he'd be saying like, it's bread and circuits, man, it's like the gladiators, man. And he would be talking about American football, it's just distracting you. And I'm like, that's right, Alex Jones, I'm going to buy an AR-15 and fucking shoot up my Brooks. You know, it was, and then at the time I didn't realise it, but in hindsight, like I now notice how disattached from my previous circle, let's call it, falling into the rabbit hole of the truther industrial complex, as I once coined it, and Richie Allen stole the fucking 33 and a third.
You actually did coin that phrase.
I pure proven the Hunners videos, and then next thing you know, him and David Icke divorced. because I was pointing out they were all part of the same fucking circle jerk. Yeah. It was one big cock train, man. You couldn't tell one for the other. It was like, okay, I've finished my report now, over to Ian R. Crane. And then the Ian R. Crane finished, then it's over to Brian Garish. And then it's over to fucking David Icke. Yeah. And then it's over to Richie Allen. And it's like, right, point out the differences between the alternative media. And if you didn't sing from their hymn sheet, you weren't allowed anywhere near.
Yeah, of course. You started asking some questions, didn't you?
Well,
things.
Put it this way, Martin, you know this yourself. You question anybody in alternative media, you then become government paid shills or something. Yeah. You're like, no, I'm applying the same shit that they said apply to the TV to the interwebs. Yeah. And I remember one of my favourite memes that I've ever made, right, is that wee, you know, the wee baby with the face. And it's like, what? The internet can lie to us just like the TV? Yeah. Damn, I've been headed out. I've been done again, you know? And it's like, that was an epiphany for me when I started researching these people and seeing how much full of shit they are. I mean, like, all I do is need to point out, UK Column's primary goal was to destroy Common Purpose, who are a political charity. Now, they happen to be a left-wing political charity. Okay. You can argue the rights and wrongs of Common Purpose, right? But then when you analyse it, who I believe were a bunch of shells, UK Column, if you analyse who they are, they boil down to the British Constitution Group, who are a fucking political charity. Right, okay, who happen to be right-wing. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. So, and then the UK Column's established and they try and present themselves as independent media, and they're not independent. Yeah. They're coming for a political charity. It might as well be Common Purpose, you know, it's not... Anyway, so that was all eye-opener for me. So there's a lot of political games going on amongst the so-called alternative media. I think it's all political. Yeah. Like, especially you've seen the big shift with AJ. He used to talk about the left-right paradigm being all two wings of the same bird and stuff. But oh no, Trump's running for president, so now he's a Republican and Trump's the best thing since sliced bread. And you forget all that stuff I've said for 2-3 decades. It's just like you've seen the shift. Completely. He still calls himself he still called himself the resistance when Trump was in power. Right. I mean, come on, people, put your Spock ears on for 2 seconds and think about it. He's a political agent or whatever. Like, he's definitely trying to influence people in one particular direction while under the disguise of independence and freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom's a load of bullshit as well. That's just a brand.
Yeah.
It's just a brand that I don't know what I fell for. I've got a big fucking painting in my wall saying freedom.
Freedom. Oh, you coined it once. Was it freedom?
Well, sorry,
saying...
Days. I first heard that from Days, but it was fantastic. And I do repeat it because it's very poignant.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, stick a freedom sticker on anything and you can sell it to any dumbass Americans. It probably works over here to a certain extent as well. You know, we go and blow cunts up in countries for whatever rhyme or reason, whether you agree with it or not, and go, freedom!
Yeah.
Aye, we've got the freedom to blow your fucking head off. Get used to it. But aye, mate, so like that weird journey from starting my YouTube channel to establishing, I can't even remember, maybe 1,000 or a couple thousand. But my trick was, it wasn't really my content, I don't think. Maybe some will say, yeah, it's the best thing since sliced bread. But my trick was, I was good at a clickbait title. Yeah. A lot of YouTubers won't tell you this because they won't own up to it. But typically, when you're writing a title, you want to write one that somebody wants to actually click on.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know one of my most successful ones?
No.
Don't click on this link. Boom, boom, boom. I was like, no way, man, what's going on? But I started off my YouTube channel, put up God knows how many videos, got enough following, got it monetized, so you can then look at your AdSense, and as your views going up, your AdSense is going up. It updates every refresh.
Ah, okay.
So, and then you might get a wee viral video, which I got a good few of. They're all off. And you're sitting watching. Fuck, I'll be doing something like that again.
Yeah.
And then I was telling you earlier on, when I first bumped into Kev, he didn't monetize his channel. He thought it was selling out. And I'm like, fuck,
I was under that impression too. I didn't realise the naivety of,
maybe the penny dropped a wee bit quicker for me, but I don't know. I was doing what I was doing because I was doing it. I certainly didn't first make that Tools to Wake Your Family Up JFK video because I wanted to make hundreds of money off of YouTube. But what I seen was when you do those videos, it gets a lot of traction, which can get a few coins thrown your way. And put it this way, I wasn't living in the Ritz. Do you know what I mean? So it was like food in my mouth.
Yeah,
and maybe the ability to move from a laptop to a desktop and all that jazz. So
yeah.
I certainly don't feel guilty about it, and I don't think anybody else should, man.
No, why should you? You're doing good content as well, like say your analysis of situations and events that were happening were very thought-provoking. And I always liked it, even when we were all doing the radio together, before we sort of went separate ways. I always enjoyed your breaking down of things and just the way you thought and stuff.
Because this is my honest assessment of why. Because initially when I got into it, I was a dumb Puritan. Do you know what I mean? As I said, we were talking about, I believed that we were doing it for the truth.
Right. Okay.
And if that truth was X or Y, and through watching all the shows, they always tell you, think of everything, but predominantly don't question us, just question the TV and everybody else. Yeah. I started questioning, as I say in some of my intros, watch the Watchmen.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person that done it, but I done it in my own particular style. And I was true to myself, because for a very early age, you know, when you're growing up as a teenager and all that, you're always striving to kind of change yourself, chisel yourself, and got to a stage where I was like, fuck that, man. That's why I still dress like I'm in the 90s, man. Because I am. But it's cool, 90s are coming back, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to start looking cool again, and people are going to stop wearing skinny jeans and joggies. Yay! Yeah. I heard something funny the day. It was like, it was a comedian on that Sunday brunch. It was a woman comedian, and I forget her name. And she's like, people in the 90s thought looking after themselves was taking a Barocca. I've took a Barocca constantly since the 90s. But that was well funny. So, but the journey was amazing, mate, and it was brilliant. Met Kev, Hot Bilderberg, met a brilliant group.
Yeah, sad to say he's passed away now, hasn't he, Kev?
Rest his soul, man.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear that about anybody, man. Not at all.
No. Although we all parted ways and did our own thing after a while, there was no animosity.
You don't wish bad on anybody or anybody's family.
It's the last thing you want to hear, isn't it? Regardless.
So all the best to him and his
family, yeah.
And all that jazz.
Yeah.
Because as you say, man, and life is too short.
Yeah.
You know, you need to move onwards, but give your respect to the dude.
Yeah. And it was a very important journey. I learned a lot through it and got a very good insight into the alternative media and how it works and how certain things you talked about over the years seem to make more sense. You know, you kind of like, when you get to a level, you kind of spoon-fed guests, and it's all like a tight network of
selling each other's books,
rehashed
same books.
This one will have them on, then you'll have them on, and it's just, yeah.
But let's give Kev his complete due, man. Or for me, like, I would not be where I am on my journey without him. I wouldn't have touched base with any of that internet radio on any level whatsoever.
Yeah.
So wherever you're, Kev, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Because I honestly mean that, because like I wouldn't have touched base with the internet radio to get flung off. Or to because I remember first learning about the internet radio stuff, right? And I'm like, yeehaw! And then next thing I know, boom, like digitally. There's the rule book.
Yeah. And now, that was through like bad language, they said at the time, because they said, we don't know who's listening, people's kids and stuff.
See, in hindsight, I think this is the reality, right? I think I would have went down well if they could have get away with it on whatever networks they were wanting to get themselves syndicated on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they had to settle for Kev as this token Scotsman. You know, because the networks that get syndicated on Scotsman go down well, man. Our voice is very, very sexy and much money.
And it's like
cut that out, man. I'm joking, man. Keep it in if it's funny.
Well, Scotland's like some call centre capital, I think, isn't it?
It used to be the call centre capital of Britain. Whether it is or not, I do not know. They used to say it was because of our accent, right? Whether that's true or not, who knows? I used to say back in the day it was because of our cheap labour. You see, you run a call centre in Glasgow is a hell of a lot cheaper than London. That's all I'm saying. But whether it was our accent or not, who the feck knows? I had fun in call centres, but it was high pressure, high reward. I remember working for one call centre and making an absolute fortune. I mean, in fact, I do know I was like 20, just when I was in Govan Hill, actually, 21.
Right.
And what happened is British Gas put their prices up, so they doubled their commission, which doubled your effort. And I was kind of like, not always, but one of the top salesmen in there, I would be top. Anyway, and I was walking out with like sort of a £600 clear a week.
Wow.
Aye. And that was God knows how many years when I was 21. So, and then they were wondering why I wasn't turning up for work on Monday.
Right.
I couldn't get the hookers out my bed. So I had a grand time in the call centre world, and again, in hindsight, in retrospect, all that corporate sales crap that I sat through endlessly, because anytime you got a job, either done like 3 days, 5 days, 10 days training, you know what I mean, you weren't just flung on the phones like I get on. Well, some of them we were get on with it.
Yeah.
But most of them, you would obviously get a lot of sales training, and it'd be all the corporate sales training, so it would teach you how to open close questions and what to say and what not to say. And that's why when I hear politicians speak, I know they're glorified salesmen.
Yeah.
Because they say a lot about fuck all.
Yeah.
Pretty much like episode 5 of my podcast that we've just done there with Adam. We said quite a lot without saying anything. If that makes sense to those.
It's not a conspiracy.
Yeah. So,
well, I don't. I'm trying to think where else my journey took me. So, like, that's how it like through the channel and stuff. I met you guys.
Yeah, we met down in London, wasn't it? The Bilderberg thing.
Bilderberg thing. That was,
and we could touch on that a little bit as well, because that whole event to me seemed a bit contrived, controlled.
Sheep and a pen. What do you mean?
The Fringe Festival, they called it.
It's not a conspiracy. But,
and we had all the celebrities of the alternative media world, some of which had flown 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 miles across the.
Well, look at Fat Man Jones on that barge.
Yeah.
Like, it must have had extra floats on it, number one. And then number two, like how kind of contrived and staged that was. We were all penned back in this pen, and there's big Fat Man Jones bullhorning the hotel. Because
and they had G4S security searching and padding down, didn't they, with the whoop, whoop, whoop stick. And
they wouldn't let me in with my fucking Anonymous mask.
No,
I had to steal one at the end to make up for the one I lost.
Rally.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, you could leave them at the entrance, and I stashed them. And then when I was leaving, I tried to retrieve it, and somebody had blagged it. So I blagged somebody else's. The circle of life.
But it was good. We networked, didn't we? We met a few like-minded people at the time, and back at the campsite was hilarious in the evening. There's people doing music and fires, and we were all sat in a tent at one point looking back at footage that another lad there had got, trying to look for things in the crowd and who was there. And
it was brilliant experience.
Really
it was like kind of a Truffer's Woodstock.
Yeah.
It really was. And I don't know if you remember, Martin, when we were heading back to the campsite, you were there when Boudica, remember that old woman? And
right.
Were you there that time?
I might have been, but I forget so much.
Right, so me too. But you wouldn't even forget this, right? So in the actual sheep pen itself, there was all sorts of characters, let's say, new age crazy folk making the whole crowd go and shit.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what night it was because that was on a mad one. And when we were going back to the campsite, it was like kind of illegal camping on somebody else's private farm ground or something. She was called herself Boudica.
Right.
What's her name? Boudica. I didn't think she had shoes on. You know, pure floaty dress and hundreds of ties on and things.
I don't remember.
A women Russell Brand full of whatever. And there was hundreds going back to the campsite, and she's in the middle of the road.
No way.
Stopping the traffic so everybody could go, and all the truckers and all that were thumbsing her up and shit.
No way.
I don't know why. I thought it was weird. There was a guy there with her as well, the same age, man. They must have been easy 60 plus. God knows what they were or weren't. I suspect they were fucking undercover agents. They were do you know the ones that start sleeping with the protesters and all that and having babies?
Yeah.
It's not a conspiracy. It really isn't a conspiracy. Well, I don't know, because what they were doing is they orchestrated us all by holding up the whole traffic straight to this campsite, and then the madness assumed. Do you ever remember that guy commonly known as Dom?
Oh, yeah.
Poof. God knows what happened, man. Maybe he just had enough of the digital shite, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when he arrived, everybody started shouting, and people were like, oh, no. And I just ran towards it. No, as you're saying, some experience. And see, when I came home for the first ever time in my life, I had lost my voice. And when I say, I don't mean, can you speak?
Yeah. You were doing a lot of interviews down there, weren't you, as well?
I was on Press TV.
Yeah.
I've got it on my channel. Me being impressed TV. I can't remember. It's really good that we're looking at the elites now or something, man.
Yeah.
I love it, man. It's fucking hilarious, man. Yeah. I had a wheelie of time down there. The Channel 4 reporter who's now on BBC One, the Asian dude with the chops.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember his name now. But he was there. I'm pretty sure this is out there in the ether. But me and this guy, UFO hunter, cornered him for an interview. Started grilling him about the New World Order and the Bilderberg group and stuff.
Yeah.
But here's a conspiracy. Not long after that, and he worked for Channel 4 at the time, if I remember, he then got the gig with the BBC.
Oh, okay.
One gig at the Bilderberg group, and then he's promoted.
Yeah.
But that was me. That was the Woodstock of Truffersville.
Good experience. Like I'd definitely do it again.
Just for at all.
Experience. Apparently, it's been going on this last weekend. I think in California or some at Bilderberg meeting.
I would still go again, but I would need to go incognito.
Yeah.
I think I would honestly get the shit kicked out of me if somebody.
Why?
He's not a truther. He questions Alex Jones. Get him. What I would do.
I think you are, in a sense. You just think I think we just think on a deeper level, don't we? And we understand that a lot of the alternative media, not all of it, not demonising everyone, but a lot of it out there is to sell you products. And especially, I spent a lot of time in the it's the end of the world sort of stuff, pre-2012, thinking the world's going to end, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And you find that a lot of it was selling you survival products and this and that. And
a common theme as well was gold.
Silver and gold. And do you remember the colloidal stuff?
Colloidal silver. Alex Jones was selling you radiation pills. Do you not remember Alex?
I remember diamond gusset jeans. Get your Kevlar protection.
I think I could even remember the see if I heard the jingle, I think I could sing it. Get your diamond gusset jeans or something. It was like it's like country and western, man. It was brilliant. That was ingrained in my nut.
You never know when you get shot in the ass, do you?
You never know when you need that protection with your gusset. Oh, talking to that, man, I could have done with this weekend when I was riding the bull.
Oh, yeah.
Did you catch that? That was real cool.
You sent me the video of that on the bucking Bronco, was it?
Aye, man. Wow. Oh, well, that was on my bucket list, my bucking Bronco, and I done it this weekend. It was brilliant, man.
And you got a conquer of a bruise on you.
Oh, man, it's like, it's not for the faint-hearted. You can hurt yourself, especially if you're determined to beat a 10-year-old kid, which I didn't manage to do. I was thinking, smart arse. I was like, right, link my fingers, golf styling, you know, so I won't lose grip of my dick. I mean, the thing in the middle, and then I'll lower my centre of gravity, and the me and the bull will be one. I was thinking of Jackie Chan shit, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Basically, see the first level. No problem, got this easy, Peter. Second, don't it turn up? Woof, straight off. I'm not joking. As soon as that second gear hit, woof, straight
just
off,
gone.
Man. Aye, but I'll tell you what, shed load of fun. And I think it was only, what was it, £2 or something, $2.50 or something?
No,
I thought it was going to be really expensive.
Yeah, that's good.
But it was good Jubilee fun.
Yeah.
and it was in a boozer. So you got the fun to watch the drunk women doing it as well. Unfortunately, my camera didn't have a very good optical zoom. That's me being honest.
King, the Lord of Honesty, Kip. Lord, Kip of the clips.
I can get away with it because I've got a smile on my face and it's not Craig Houston, it's Lord Kips of the clips.
Yeah, of course. It's all good fun, man.
So that was what I was doing at the weekend, man. But my journey's been bizarre through this, mate, and I've kept my mind open. And
you're not like totally against everything, and I think certain, like we were saying on the last episode, like what is a conspiracy? and a conspiracy is just two people conspiring to do something, and it happens all the time. It's not, and the term conspiracy theory, I think, has been kind of
bastardized and abused and commercialized and regurgitated to keep everybody in perpetual confusement.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, nobody knows what way is up. It's just like, ask a youngster today what gender they are. I'm a zebra today.
Yeah.
And I come from a country where our national animal is a fucking unicorn.
Oh, right, really?
Do you know that?
I didn't know that, no.
I'll
never think the same about Scotland again.
See, when you see the royal emblems and all that, and you see the unicorn.
No way.
Have you noticed that?
No.
You've got two animals, typically a lion and a unicorn. The unicorn symbolises Scotland.
No way.
So, we're freedom! Run riding on in a unicorn. Ooh, yeah. That's what Mel Gibson should have done to be factually accurate. Here's another interesting fact. You know, Donald Trump's mum's birth certificate is in Edinburgh.
Is it?
Donald Trump's Scottish, man.
No way. I don't know. He's got a big golf course, hasn't he, up there?
I think he's got two now.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, or he was trying to get two and maybe get knocked back. But Donald Trump's a Scot.
No way.
Scottish blood.
Many people think he's going to win again, don't they?
I think he's going to win again. I think 100%. I thought he was going to win the first time. Nailed it.
But what do you think to all that stuff as well, where it's like in the lead up to him winning, he said, I'm going to disclose this, I'm going to disclose that.
Oh, he was...
the truth about this, the truth about that.
He was playing everybody for a fool.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I called it. I'm not blowing smoke up my own arse, but I did fucking say at the time, that cunt's not going to tell you anything about JFK. What he was doing was he was playing to a particular. He was playing a symphony to a particular demographic, which me and you are part of. But I don't fall for that shit anymore due to the sales training, because I could see he was just. It's like all good salesmen and politicians. You say what people want to hear. So he was. He could have see if it would have worked. He would have told people that he'll tell you that Bigfoot's real. Because what was the bullshit that he talked about? JFK. What else was the conspiracies he was going to solve for us?
The whole
vaccines.
September 11 thing.
Was he not going to get JFK Jr., funnily enough, on the vaccine shit? Was that?
Oh, was he?
I
don't know.
JFK Jr. or whatever one's floating about the now in the political circles was meant to set up a vaccine commission, or was it an abortion commission?
Not too
sure. I'll stand corrected, people. Stick it in your brains. I mean your Googles. That's what I started calling Google, my brain. See if I don't know something, Google.
Yeah.
Even talking today about most youth, right? The reason there's such smart arses and are the way they are, fucking like that, is because parents have now been bypassed. When me and you were younger, Martin, your Google was our parents.
Yeah.
If you didn't know fuck all and you really wanted to know the answer and you wanted to trust it, you would go to your ma, you would go to your dad. Nowadays, bypassed straight to the handheld. Yeah. And that's what, and plus, they can get probably an answer for everything.
It's not always the right answer, though, is it? It's the scary thing.
Mate, we're talking about people being susceptible. We're talking about pretty much male adults there. Think of the youth.
Yeah.
You know how susceptible they are. They're open slates. That's why when you were saying, do you think the alternative media is controlled or whatever, I think the vast majority of the alternative media was or could have been set up by entities who were ahead of the game, see where it was going, and then they could maybe implant a Charlie Veitch, implant a Brian Gerrish, so on and so forth. And and if you want evidence of this, look at UKIP.
Not you, Kip.
Not me, Kip. Them Kip. Nigel Vag Kip. That's what I'll call them. Okay. Vaggy's Kip. Right. Now, does nobody put your Spock ears on? Does it not? Not his eyes, but your Spock ears, and open your eyes and look at what the fucking UKIP done. They've got Neil Hamilton. right? Cash for fucking questions in Parliament, non-corrupt politician in their party, and then you have that fucking pug monster turning up and that Sargon of Mossad as well. You know what I mean? As well as a lot of the other bullcrap artists that fucking wanted to sign up for UKIP.
Yeah, and a lot of that which is what led to the Brexit thing, wasn't it? And that way of thinking.
You can see, I'm not getting angry at you, Martin. I'm getting angry at why this didn't fucking ring alarm bells for so many people.
Yeah.
I'm pointing this out and people going, aye, but no, but aye, but no, but aye, but I'm like, fuck off then. Seriously, I've got no time for you. If you can't see the wood for the fucking trees with that shit.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, them joining UKIP and becoming one entity and stuff, that happened years after I was pointing out that this was all moving in that direction.
Yeah.
One of the eye-opening things for me was I was looking around my circle of pals and all that, and I was like, 9 out of 10 here, or like, I'm exaggerating a wee bit, but whatever, are going to vote for UKIP. They're all seeming to fucking go to this Nigel Vadge thing. Have they not done their due diligence on who he is and what he represents? They hadn't.
No.
They just seen the propaganda and rhetoric.
And we've seen that so many times, didn't we? Like the alternative media, the different rabbit holes. People were getting tucked down these political far left, far right, middle, centre. One way or another, they were being dragged into a political way of thinking without even realising it, when they were supposed to be against the political stuff.
Alex Jones is another example. UK column. Independent journalism, fighting for the man on the street. Fuck off. I know, you know what I mean? No. But for me, it got a bit tiresome old, and I like to rant about it on camera, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because you get to speak to similar-minded people, and you know that you are not alone. People do see through the smoke screen. And over my journey, mate, without blowing smoke up my arse again, I know a lot of people that have turned around and said thanks to me.
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely, like, oh, fuck, I never actually even considered looking at it from that angle.
Yeah.
And I try my best never, ever, 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 ever tell people what you think. Just, think it could be another way, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of the way that it's shoved down your fucking throat. I often say a narrative.
Yeah.
Expand your narrative, do you know what I mean? Bring in a wee bit more fucking... shit. Stuff. That word that escapes me right now. But broaden your narrative.
Yeah.
And then it's not narrow anymore.
Yeah. I like it. That's cool. Yeah, and like I said on the previous episode, like the path to truth forever evolves as a personal journey. So like what you believe to be true or feel one time could change to another, you know, like over the years, I see the progression of what I used to sort of believe to be true, and then what I believe to be true now could be completely different. Not to say that none of it was real or didn't mean anything, but I think it's a personal experience, I suppose, isn't it? But I think when you see the manipulation and you see what tactics people go to steer you down a certain path, but then turn it on its head. Like we were saying on one of your shows not so long ago when we were talking about Charlie Veach, just to interject there, how he was all for like the 9/11 truth stuff, and then the BBC flew him out to the States, and now all of a sudden he doesn't believe any of it. We're all crazy. And it completely turned that demographic of his followers, split them in half, and I don't know, and I just believe that that's what happens.
Second appearance on mainstream BBC viewing as well, you know.
Yeah.
But mate, you nailed it there, right? It's for people that have followed you for whatever amount of time, man, and I've known you for a long time. It's obviously evident that you're on a journey, a journey. You know, you're not sitting there static. Whereas we were talking about people with the ability to think CC 33 means I'm a Mason or something. Those people will never move. They're static. Whatever rabbit hole they've fell in, they've got lead boots.
Yeah.
And they've went down it without an open mind, let's just say, that it might be bullshit. And they've been sold a ringer.
Yeah.
And other people are on a journey and move about.
Yeah.
Other people just want to make money and will say anything To me, that's very self-evident, you know.
Yeah.
You get other people that are scared to even voice their opinion or say one way or the other, you know, because they're scared to get cut off from the people that they'll upset.
Yeah.
I'm not, because like that. That's why I've got 20,000 subs and get very little views, because at some point, that as well, because like the few viral videos I got. See, when you get viral videos, man, the subs just pouring.
Yeah.
Whether they click the alert button or whatever, who feckin' knows.
Well, I think they'd never used to have to click that, and then when YouTube changed it and introduced that, then all of a sudden nobody had the bell switched on.
Yeah.
And you started losing touch with loads of channels and content.
Just your views hot the floor.
Yeah.
And that's why I get so little views. And also that as well, because at some point I'm going to upset somebody. Like, I might be saying, I don't know, I don't like bananas, right? And then I'm getting people, I hate bananas too. And they're all subbing to me and all that. And they're like, hey, you're the greatest, man. You really nailed it with you hate bananas, man. And then the next day I might go, I hate apples. And all the banana haters as well. Like, I fucking love apples, man. I fucking hate you. And unsub or don't watch or whatever.
You can't please everyone.
Fuck it.
Impossible.
Don't try, man. Because the people that appreciate my channel and shit that I do, that's what they do appreciate, I would argue.
Yeah. I'd say definitely go and check it out, people. It's really, really interesting. Clips, CIPS, Clips, CLIPS.
Yeah, just think I conceived in prison.
But you weren't really. That's the joke behind
Or was I? It's not a conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. We're putting some ideas together, aren't we, for this show, the new show that we're going to do, like a collaboration thing. And even if we do, you know, once a month or whatever, just to get it going, you know, and try and get some format and then maybe do it a bit more regular, it'd be really cool.
Sounds good to me, mate. Nothing's in stone as of yet, so but people just best stay tuned to see what the hell's going to happen. But if it's as good as crack as we've had tonight, mate, it should be good.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't know about you, I've had a laugh as well.
Yeah, it's been great, man. It's been great, as is every time we connect and speak.
The only problem is you invite me over here and all you serve me is steak. Where's the caviar? Where's the caviar that I ordered?
Be careful, that might offend vegans.
Next time I want steak and caviar and your finest red wine.
It's a huge mistake.
No, but mate, honestly, man, and thanks to the good lady that's cooked it, because it smells amazing.
You're welcome.
And that's why we're not doing 3 hours, only this amount of time.
Yeah, we are quite hungry. We've worked up an appetite. It's been fun. Absolutely fun. So do you want to tell people where to reach out and find your socials?
Cips Clips should take you to my channel, no problem at all, on the boob tubes and stuff. Apart from other social media, I don't really participate. On my channel, underneath all my clips, you'll get an email and Skype if you do want to contact me or send me the meaning of life or anything.
And you do a bit of a call-in thing sometimes, don't you?
Well, some people are always welcome to call in, man, but sometimes, like, I mean this in a... I do mean this. I mean, like, what is there to debate? I have my opinion, you're welcome to yours.
Yeah.
Most people are so militant in their opinion, they don't want to talk to you, they just want to fight.
Yeah.
There's nobody willing to talk up and well, that's not true. There's not nobody, but very few people willing to talk up, phone up or whatever and contact in and have a debate when you don't want to kill each other at the end of it.
Yeah.
Because I remember doing all the hangouts with 10 folk and all that, and you would end up having to be a referee.
Yeah.
And
trying to get a word in as well. Like...
different personalities with different opinions. No, I'm right. I'm right. And then that's why I know that's how I know that God invented the mute button. Otherwise it would turn into chaos. And that's why I know that God invented the talking stick.
Yeah.
But the kind of format that we're thinking about, mate, like maybe throwing a few audio or video clips up or whatever, the stuff that we're talking about, and then just a wee tit for tat between two buddies and stuff, man. There's no really, very rarely talking over each other. And I think we've been in the game long enough to understand that on the internet there's a bit of delay, and if two people talk at the same time, nobody can hear shit. And I don't, I mean that in all jest, man. There's a lot of people out there that just still don't get that. And I've listened to some podcasts and there's just 6 people talking over each other.
Yeah, even in-house ones as well, where they're in the same room. I've noticed that. Definitely.
Even in question time. That's on the BBC, I've noticed that.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to it. And like, as I said, nothing's set in stone. Nothing will be set in stone. We're just throwing around some ideas.
Yeah. But speaking of the ideas as well, we've been thinking of some jingles, haven't we? Going to give the listeners, viewers.
Have you got the reverb there?
Just say it's not a conspiracy. I want to do the reverb.
It's not a conspiracy.
That was fucking brilliant. That was fucking really good, man. Did you hear that?
No, man. Can you play it back easily?
Try it now. Try it with you. Go on.
It's not a conspiracy. That does sound good, actually, by the way. If there's a button to turn that on and we can do that during the show, that would be shit hot.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
You're right, that is good.
It might be a conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy. Oh, that's a business, actually. That sounds really good.
You could use some little clips.
You could have them as just sound bites, you know, playable with a press of a button.
Yeah. Well, you can do that with these stream decks. Can't recommend enough, to get one of these for your streaming.
I know. I would love to have one of them. What I use just now is my number pad for scenes and stuff.
Oh, so you can.
I know on OBS.
That's good.
But sometimes it triggers shit on videos and stuff like that, which fucks up.
So yeah.
I would actually love one of them. See, the more you do it, the more you'll know what you use.
You can have your YouTube, like that brings up your channel, and that's your subscribers and your views and how many videos you've got and stuff on there. And then you can see Dogecoin, Bitcoin. So there's like loads of little shit you can do with it, man. Really, really useful.
It does look shit hot.
I got this as one of my, was it Christmas presents off the family? Because they're all asking me at the time, what do I want? And there's always a gadget or something I need. So I was like, Stream Deck.
I used to use, amongst others, I used to use the No Agenda soundboard they had.
Oh, did you?
But it was just a web page that there's a button
that you could press. Yeah. I've got no way of doing that here, really. Unless I got like a little laptop or some sort of triggering thing.
Tablet.
I did have a wireless mouse and keyboard when I first started doing it, and I just found that I couldn't even see where the mouse pointer was. I can't even.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I lose my mouse all the time, see, because I'm looking at my second screen on OBS. It's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the mouse pointer goes a lot pusher for whatever reason. I can never fucking find it. Half the fun. Chasing mice.
Just to give you guys an idea of where we're thinking of this and what the show may or may not be about. I mean, Kip don't always get along with views. We don't always get along.
I know, man. We were boxing earlier on. We were fighting over a steak.
You know me. I'll try that again. That didn't make sense.
No, we don't. We might not always see eye to eye on our views, but we don't need to fall out about it.
Absolutely.
And we never have over the 10 plus whatever year. Is it 12 years or 10 years? And it's a lot.
Been things over the time where I'm like messaging these big long messages. Well, I don't see it like this. I see it like that. And And you're just like, oh, hey, man, yeah, welcome to that opinion. And that's just how it is.
Well, I'm kind of glad that I provoke, not that reaction, but that at least people thinking about things, you know.
Yeah, you've definitely opened my eyes to certain shenanigans, let's say. Yeah,
and you too, mate. You too.
Yeah.
Primarily right now, how to build a kick-ass studio.
Oh, thank you, man. Too kind. But that kind of takes me back to the last episode and telling people, you know, to not fall out over the difference of opinions. Too many people have lost like friends and family members over going down certain rabbit holes in certain events, let's say, that may or may not have happened over the last few years.
It's a conspiracy!
Yeah, so, you know, we need to come together and just work things out. I think that's what it's about.
Especially not Fallout, man. Especially in this time of Armageddon. The hospitals are fucked. The airports are fucked. The schools are fucked. The only thing that's working properly are supermarkets. Cha-ching! Mr. Tesco, Sainsbury's and Morrison's living this shit, man. Lapping it up.
Yeah.
It is a conspiracy.
But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure.
You too, Martin.
Yeah, thank you very much. And to all of you out there in audio app land listening, please don't forget to head over to YouTube for the video version of this podcast and for the other episodes and the other types of content. And yeah, Kip, where can we find you?
Kip's Clips on the boob tubes, and you'll get ways of contacting me below that if you want to contact me about anything.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone.
Oh, and I was going to say as well, man, if anybody does have any ideas about the show, why not throw them to Martin or myself?
Yeah.
Because we can steal them and then use them for our own wicked ways.
I like it. Stay tuned, folks. Plenty more coming up. That's been episode 6 of the IE Media podcast. Thank you to all of you out there. Appreciate it.
Good night, Austin.